Next, we're going to discuss is Joseph Diaz. Joseph Jojo Diaz is the youngest boxer on the team for USA for the 2012 Summer Olympics. The U.S. boxing team gives a stipend monthly, which supported Diaz and one of his sisters and his two unemployed parents. He states that if it wasn't for boxing, I don't know where I'd be, he said. I don't know if I'd be in a gang or what, but boxing really helps me out a lot with everything, helping out my parents financially, helping me stay out of trouble, everything overall. But the stipend was not enough for his parents to go with him to London to watch him at the Olympic Games. So he and his family washed cars, they sold T-shirts, autographs, and collected donations and held beer bong tournaments. After what seemed like endless fundraising, they raised enough money to bring 7 people to watch him: his mother and father, his 2 sisters and brother-in-laws, and his boxing director. They met Diaz in London.
Today they're part of boxing history, but before, they were Olympians. Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Sugar Ray Leonard, Pernell Whitaker, Oscar De La Hoya. As every boxer's story, theirs begins outside of the ring, when their names were still unknown. Similar boxing stories are still being written, like that of 19-year-old Joseph Diaz Jr., who one day too could become a legend. Like others before him, his journey first takes him to the Olympics.
That's what I really want to become, is a world champion, and just showing people that if I could do it, you guys could do it as well, because I came from nowhere and I just built myself up.
Diaz came to the sport of boxing to learn self-defense. As a 10-year-old boy, he was part of the 30% of children who, according to the National Education Association, are bullied in American schools.
My dad wanted to teach me self-defense. My dad knew a couple moves here and there, but he didn't know boxing. So when me and my dad went to the gym, it was kind of new for my dad as well. My dad just started going on the websites, on YouTube and everything, finding out like all the techniques that boxing has, and I was just listening to what he was doing, and that's how I got into the boxing gym.
To this day, Diaz still trains with his dad, Joseph Sr., at this gym in El Monte, California, where he grew up.
Straight left. There you go.
He says that the guys who used to bully him are now his biggest supporters on an Olympic journey the boxer says he hadn't planned.
I didn't even know about me being an Olympian. I just wanted to turn pro. I wanted to be a world champion. When I was 16 years old, I told my dad, right when I turned 17, let's turn pro. I want to start helping you guys out financially. My dad was just like, you know what, Joe? The Olympics are just in 2 years. You could probably be an Olympian. You just turned 17. You're fighting in the men's division, and you won that, so you have some good skill, Joe, so just stick to it.
On October 4th, 2011, Joseph beat Mexican Oscar Valdez in the Amateur International Boxing Association World Championships. That day, he became the first U.S. boxer to secure a berth to the 2012 Olympic Games.
It was intense, man, because whoever won that fight qualified for the Olympic Games. So I knew he really wanted it, and I really wanted it. He just kept coming, man, and I just, in my head, I was just thinking about my family, just helping them financially, getting them out of the place that they're in, and that actually gave me the extra boost in the last round, and that made me win the fight. And it was awesome, man. It was just amazing. Just knowing that I'm an Olympian now, my dream came true. It was just awesome.
As part of their preparation, Diaz and the rest of the U.S. team are here at Fort Carson, where they've been training with military boxing coaches and also at the Olympic Training Center, both in Colorado Springs. Just weeks away from the Olympics, the team's training proves to be anything but easy.
They have you training really hard, man. It's a good workout, though. It's good endurance. The coaches are very cool. They actually know what's good for us, and they're trying to help us out on our techniques and what we're doing wrong, just so we can learn from our mistakes and take it back home so we can just practice that in our daily routine. I just need to really stay focused. I need to do some strength conditioning, keep my speed, and gain a little more power, and just think about that gold medal every time I step into that gym.
From those Olympians who have marked the path for boxers like him, Joseph says Oscar de la Hoya is his idol. Like de la Hoya, he grew up in a Mexican-American household, and like de la Hoya, Diaz says he's proud of his Latino roots and is determined to bring home gold for the United States.
Representing the USA feels like an honor. Just knowing that USA is going to be out there supporting you when you're at the Olympics. I want to be known as the next Mexican fighter, because once I turn pro, I want the Mexicans to be on my side. With that, I need to start learning some Spanish, and I'll be good.
Manuel Huerta holding up his medal from the Olympics. He's a triathlete, and he's originally from Cuba.
Necesitaba entrar entre los primeros 9 lugares. Iba de cuarto, quinto, que me empezaron a pasar. Faltando menos de 1 kilómetro ya no tenía nada. Y veía como que mis Juegos Olímpicos se me iban corriendo. Apreté los dientes y tiré todo lo que me quedaba. Y cuando a llegar, no sabía si estaba de noveno, décimo, 11. Empecé a contar y me di cuenta que yo era el número 9. En ese momento todos los pensamientos de todos esos kilómetros que he puesto durante todos estos años, todos esos sacrificios, se me había hecho realidad el sueño de clasificarme a los Juegos Olímpicos. Parte de mi sueño ya lo he cumplido, ahora voy por la medalla. Si hubiese estado todo este tiempo en Cuba, no me hubiera podido clasificar a los Juegos. Haber nacido en una familia que tenía diferentes ideas a la del régimen de Fidel Castro es haber nacido marcado. Mis sueños nunca se iban a hacer realidad. El gobierno no nos hubiera dado las mejores, no nos hubiera dado ninguna esperanza, ninguna ayuda. Mi familia y yo nos mudamos a Estados Unidos y Estados Unidos nos abrió las puertas. Y para mí mi sueño americano era algún día poder competir en los Juegos Olímpicos. Al llegar aquí no hablaba inglés, empecé la escuela, la secundaria, y era difícil, las clases, los amigos, todo se manejaba en inglés y yo prácticamente vivía en otra dimensión. Poco a poco me fui adaptando, ya que venía de un mundo completamente opuesto, que era nacer en una isla comunista, a venir a uno de los países más grandes capitalistas del mundo. Pero una vez que comencé a hacer deportes, me sentí como que ya me empezaban a ver más como uno del grupo. Ya me siento más americano que cubano. Nunca me olvido de mis raíces, pero he vivido más tiempo aquí que allá. Y prácticamente Miami es como la ciudad más al norte de Cuba, no cambia mucho en ese aspecto. En una manera veo que nunca podría regresar y vivir ahí y empezar de cero de nuevo. Para mí representar a Estados Unidos en estos Juegos Olímpicos será un orgullo.
Manuel Huerta, his family and his mother and his sisters moved to the U.S. when he was 13 to have a better life. One thing that Manuel Huerta has stated is that he has been taught to prioritize whatever will bring him success, even if this means sacrificing family time. Where there is a will, there is a way. You got to remember that. If you will it, it will happen.
You know, living with you, it hasn't been easy. People see me, but they think of you. Now with all this going on, this is going to be worse than ever.
It don't have to be.
No, sure it does.
Why? You got a lot going on, kid.
Oh, well, my last name? That's the reason I got a decent job. That's the reason why people deal with me in the first place. Now I start to get a little ahead. I start to get a little something for myself. And this happens. Now I'm asking you as a favor not to go through with this, okay? This is only going to end up bad for you, and it's going to end up bad for me.
You think I'm hurting you?
Yeah, in a way you are.
It's the last thing I ever wanted to do.
I know that's not what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is. Don't you care what people think? Doesn't it bother you that people are making you out to be a joke and that I'm going to be included in that? Do you think that's right? Do you?
You ain't gonna believe this. But you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up to say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always gonna love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life.
Like I stated, there is a will, there is a way. You have to believe in yourself that you will succeed. You know what is behind you, but can you imagine what's in front of you if you do the best you can? Latinos, leaders of America, united to succeed. Thank you.